Hi lads, so the first exercise is the bench squat. Okay, so if you have a bench like this at home, that's great. If not, you can just use like a chair, bench outside. Just make sure it's flat and make sure it's nice and stable. Okay, so to start off with, you just need your feet sort of shoulder width apart to allow a firm base. Okay, then you're just going to drive through your heels on the way up, going a little bit quicker than on the way down. Okay, so up with a bit of intent, nice big squeeze. Then just lower yourself nice and slowly to a seat, okay, back nice and straight, drive through the heels, up a little bit quicker, then down, nice and slowly, there. With the breathing, when you're coming up, you're breathing out, and then when you're coming back in, you're breathing back in. If you can't get into that sort of that habit, just breathe, okay? It's much better than holding your breath. Okay, so the next movement is a incline glute bridge. So similar to a normal glute bridge, which you may have seen, but this basically works sort of the hamstrings, okay? So really important for yourselves as footballers to reduce the chance of injury. It also works your glutes as well. Okay, so, another important part is your core, okay? So core strength, again, really important for footballers. For example, if you're shielding the ball, and it helps with stability as well. Okay, so now I'll show you what the exercise looks like. So, again, you just need a bench, or like I said in the previous clip, you could use like a sofa or a chair. Again, just health and safety, make sure it's nice and stable, okay, nice and sturdy, okay? So, what you're gonna do is just pop your heels up like that. Nice flat back to start with. You can have your arms out for a bit of stability as well. And then you're just going to raise yourself up like this, okay? Nice controlled, a bit quicker on the way up again. What's really important is you're not overextending your back, okay? So that would look like this. Just keep everything sort of in line, okay? You shouldn't feel any discomfort really, or at all, in the lower back. So you should feel it in your hamstrings and your glutes, and a little bit in your core as well. So the next exercise we're going to do is the incline press up. Okay, so it's a slight regression on the press up, but it's really important we have those fundamental components of pushing exercises, which you'll be doing when you get into your gym sessions when you get a little bit older. So, nice and simple, okay? Again, you just need a bench, kitchen sort of worktop, anything flat like a coffee table. Just make sure it's sturdy and it's going to hold your own weight. Really important, you're not using anything that's not going to hold your weight, okay? So, nice and easy, okay? With your hand position, just create like a Y, like that, okay? Not too far apart, not too close. About there is perfect, okay? Place on your sort of bench or coffee table or kitchen worktop, okay? And ensure that your hips aren't dropping or they're not too high. So you might just need to bring your feet a little bit wide to create a firm sort of base. Just lower yourself nice and slowly, and then push yourself up a little bit quicker. Okay, so it's really important with your elbows that they're about sort of 45 degrees to the side of your body. They're not flaring out like this, or you're not having them too close. With the breathing as well, similar to the other exercises, breathing in on the way in, and out on the way out when you're pushing up. Another thing that's quite important as well, and you'll get a lot more out of the exercise, if you squeeze and engage your core, then it's an upper body and a core workout as well. Right, so the next exercise is a calf raise, okay, so basically the clue's in the name, it will be working the calf, so really important for stability and balance in football, okay? So, nice and simple, you're going to start off with a firm base, so that's shoulder width apart, okay, feet shoulder width apart, sorry, okay, and then you're just going to raise up through your sort of tiptoes, your big toe, and then just lower yourself down, nice and slowly. You can have your hands on your hips if that helps with stability. Slight pause, and then come back down nice and slowly. If you want to make this a little bit harder, if you've got dumbbells at home, you can hold them to the side. If you haven't, you can use things like water bottles, just to give yourself a bit of resistance, like that. Okay, nice and easy. Again, really important you're not kind of coming down there. Just keep a nice, strong, straight posture. Okay, so we'll just show you from the side on angle. So up and then down, nice and controlled. Okay, so similar as you'll see in the programs, 3 lots of 10. Okay, and with the breathing, sorry, it's really important. You're breathing out on the way out, back in when you're coming back down. Next exercise is the wall sit, targeting the lower body, specifically your legs, and in particular the quads there. Find yourself some wall, so inside or outside is fine. And all you're going to do is just basically lower yourself into this position, arms by your sides, pushing your heels into the floor, upright body, keeping the breathing going as mentioned. So, if you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself, you can just bring yourself up there. Okay. If you're really finding any pain in your knees and want you to stop right away and miss this exercise out. So the next exercise we're going to do is the high plank. So similar to the press up, it's a slight regression on the exercise, but it's just to get you sort of used to the movement, okay, and ensuring that we've got the fundamental strength there. So when we progress the exercise, everything's all good, okay? So nice and easy. Basically, it's just sort of the top position of a press up, okay, so like that. So I'll show you different angles, but from this angle it's there, okay? Nice straight elbows there. And you're just holding, engage the core. So engaging the core basically means just squeezing your sort of core muscles. But what you need to do when you're doing that, it's very easy to hold your breath, just ensure you're breathing regularly, okay? So from a side on angle, just looks like this, okay? And as you can see, my back's not low, my hips aren't too high, nice and straight there. Okay, so going to be working the core muscles and a little bit of sort of the arm and upper body as well.